Women have been conditioned by society to be, act, and think a certain way. Here at Girls IRL, we encourage women to challenge societal norms and embrace their femininity. With that being said, let's get into this week's episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Girls in Real Life podcast. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm your host, Mariah Clayton. So happy that you guys are joining me back for another fabulous Monday. And if this is your first time listening, hi, hello. I hope you decide to stay a while. Happy Labor Day, first and foremost. I had to double check my calendar to see what date this episode was going on. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's Monday is Labor Day. So no school, no work. I hope you guys are enjoying your little day off and 4-day weekend. I cannot even believe that it is actually September. Like, time is just going by so quickly, and I really just don't know how to feel about it. Like, if you really think about it, we have Halloween next month, then we have Thanksgiving, then we have freaking Christmas and New Year's, and then we're going to be starting the process all over again come January 1. And I feel like it's a little bit crazy to think about that because it feels like it was just January 1. Like, I know I'm not the only person who feels like that, but yeah, it just blows my mind how fast time has just been moving lately. And I have a 6-month-old now. Like, are you joking? Like, oh my goodness, like time really, it can't be real. Like it just cannot be real because there's just no way that this much time has passed. It really is insane to me that it's been 6 months since I've given birth to Ace. Like he's growing so much. He's getting such a fun little personality. Like absolutely love hanging out with him every single day and just watching him grow and develop. Your boy is trying to crawl, okay? He has been like scooting around. He knows how to turn himself around in his crib and it is just the cutest thing ever. So yeah, I'm just excited to continue to watch him grow up, and yeah, I'm just so proud of him already. And he's like a baby and can't even do anything, but like anything he does, I'm just like, you're so cute. I'm so proud. But while we're on the topic of Ace, I have to tell you guys, he is 100% fully on formula now. And I really don't know how to feel about it because, okay, technically he still has 2 more frozen packs of breast milk. And there's a part of me that has just kind of been like holding on to those frozen packs of breast milk because it's almost like I don't want the journey to be over. Like I don't want it to end. And it's so weird because when I first started like breastfeeding or exclusively pumping, I was miserable. I hated it. Like it hurt so bad and it was so much to get used to. And I had these rock hard solid boobs and I was so annoyed having to pump in the middle of the night and all these things. And now I look back and I'm like, I miss that, like I miss being able to provide for Ace in that way. And it was such a special feeling. And it's something that most women like don't do or can't do. Not most women, I guess some women. There are some women who like physically, can't breastfeed. There are some women who just don't want to breastfeed. And so for me, being able to like have that gift of being able to give that to him, it truly, truly was and is so special. And I only pumped for 4 months, and I know that I could have gone longer. And the reason that I stopped were, like very selfish reasons. Like I was going on vacation and I didn't want to have to worry about pumping while I was on vacation and traveling with breast milk. Like I get it. But also at the same time, there's a part of me that feels a little bit guilty about stopping just because I know that it's something that I could have continued doing with no problem. Like I was very much in a groove in my flow. Like I wasn't minding it as much anymore. So it is something that I know that I could still be doing right now at this moment. And I've actually seriously considered relactating myself several times. I talked to Justin about it and he's like, why would you do that? Like, don't do that. There's no point in doing that. But like, he just doesn't understand like really how special that is. And for me, I wanted Ace to latch, and for him to not be able to latch initially, it was a little bit sad for me, but I was still happy that I was able to give him, the same nutrients and nourishment that he would get if he did latch to my breast, like I was able to just pump and give that to him. But I remember the first time I actually got him to latch onto me, and I just remember like crying. I literally videoed the moment. Like I have it in my phone, and it is just the sweetest thing. And I was literally just crying because I don't know, like it truly is just like such a special moment and bond that you have with you and your baby when they're latched on to you and you're looking down at them and they're looking up at you, and he's literally just feeding from you. Like you're the one sole thing that they need, you know? Like it is, I truly cannot even begin to explain it. But I say all of that to say I guess I'm holding on to those last two frozen packs of breast milk to still hold on to like that small little piece of my journey. Oh my God, am I about to cry? Don't mind me, you guys. I'm pretty sure my period is about to be starting in the next few days, so I'm just gonna blame it on that. But yeah, I really do think I'm just holding on to that moment of my life where like I was able to just provide for him in such a special way. Um, so yeah, I don't want to cry, but it's just something that I've been struggling with a little bit mentally and just like feeling guilty, and I don't know, like I know that I don't need to feel guilty, and I know that a fed baby is the best baby, and like he's perfectly fine with his formula, you know, like he hasn't been complaining. He's adjusted very well. But for me personally, I'm just like I know that it's something that I could still be doing, and part of me just feels guilty about that. But that's neither here nor there, okay? We're not here to be sad and upset, okay? It's a holiday. I'm not about to do this to y'all. On a lighter note, if you guys remember my New Year's resolution episode where I told you guys that I wanted to start cooking more, I cooked for the first time this year. I know we already like what month is September? 9 months into the year. But I did cook for the first time, and I made chicken Alfredo, and it was a process, you guys. Like I truly had no idea what I was doing. I just kind of decided to cook it out of the blue. Well, not really out of the blue, because Justin has been expressing to me that he wants me to cook more and like learn how to cook and be more comfortable with cooking. And it's just really hard when your man is a big foodie and he knows so much about food, so much about cooking, like, and I know nothing. And I just feel a little bit intimidated, honestly. Like I don't want to cook something and have him be super, super critical of it, because then my feelings are going to be hurt, you know? But I did cook some chicken Alfredo pasta. I made my sauce from scratch, y'all. Yeah, I had to watch some TikTok videos about that. I had to text my aunties. I put them in the group chat, and I was like, look, I got this, and this. Can you tell me what to do? I did make my Alfredo sauce from scratch, which actually wasn't as difficult as I was imagining, but I did kind of mess it up a little bit because I made it too thick at first. Like I added way too much flour in the beginning. So I had to dilute it with like a lot of water to get it to be like that kind of creamy consistency that I was looking for. Yeah, he came home like right as soon as I was pouring the noodles into the pot, and I did not break the noodles, but I literally recorded this whole process. I don't know if I've uploaded to my Instagram or TikTok or whatever, but you guys can go check and see. I have no idea if I'm even going to use the footage, but probably so, because it's so funny. But I was literally having like this dialogue with myself of deciding if I was going to break the noodles or not. And in the end, I just decided I'm just going to pour them in here. Like, I don't want to break the noodles. And as soon as I pour them in there into the pot, he walks into the house and half the noodles are like sticking out of the pot because the pot that I used was too small. And he was like, you know that's gonna cook unevenly, right? Like, why didn't you break the noodles? And I was like, well, I just figured, you know, when they get all limpy, I could just fold them over. And he was like, yeah, but they're gonna be cooking uneven now, and like the bottom pieces are gonna be done before the top pieces. And I was like, you know what? You just go sit down and let me do what I need to do, because this is why I started cooking before you made it home in the first place. Because I know you was gonna come in here and try and tell me what to do and try and overanalyze everything and try and peek over my shoulder. And I didn't want none of that, okay? I just wanted to be able to cook in peace. And if I messed up, then he would have never known if he would have just not been home. He usually texts me or calls me when he's on his way home, and he didn't do that the day I was cooking. So I was like, why didn't you tell me you were on your way home? Like, I would have tried to push this a little bit faster. But no, all in all, I mean, he ate 2 plates. I think he enjoyed it. He gave it an 8. I think he was being very overly generous. Not that the food was nasty, but it definitely was my first time cooking, and I learned a lot along the way. And it didn't turn out horrible. It did not turn out bad. I think I made the chicken a little bit too spicy with like some of the cayenne pepper, but it wasn't that bad. And I just finished eating some before I started recording this episode, and I was like, you know what? I really actually did pretty good. Like, there were some things that now that I've like, did a trial run and I've done it one time, I know not to do for next time. So I think I just have to, continue to cook and continue to be more comfortable in the kitchen and, just learn from my mistakes. And I think the more that I cook, the better I'm going to get. Not saying that I'm probably going to be doing a whole lot of cooking, but I really don't know. I mean, cooking is not that bad. It's just time consuming. It's a little bit annoying. Like, I don't know. It's just not something that I fully enjoy, but it's not something that I fully hate either. I'm kind of like that person in the middle. Like, if I have to do it, I will, but if I don't have to do it, I'll be just fine. Another cool thing that happened this past week was, if you guys follow me on TikTok, I did a cute little transition video to Victoria Monet's song, On My Mama. And it was just like a fun little transition that I had thought up in my head, and I did it, and it went kind of viral. And Victoria Monet herself, y'all, the queen of R&B right now at this moment, commented on my video. And I was like, you're joking. Like, you're joking. This is not real, but it was real. And she commented on not just one video, but 2 videos. I was shook. I was so shook. So, of course, I made a video responding to her comment. And I was like, I love you, first of all. But second of all, if you have tickets, if you have any tickets for your New Orleans show, like, I want to come. I want to be there. I didn't get tickets before they sold out. She didn't respond to that video though, but I did look on Ticketmaster and I saw some resellers selling tickets. So I think me and Justin are gonna get tickets and go and see her when she comes to New Orleans this month. Wow, she's actually coming in September. Yeah, this month. So yeah, I'm gonna get to see her in concert, and it's just gonna be so much fun. And yeah, I've loved Victoria Monet for a while now. I actually saw her open up for Ariana Grande on the Dangerous Woman tour, and she was incredible then, and she's just as incredible now. So I've been listening to her for a few years, and I just think that she's absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad she's finally getting like the recognition and the flowers that she deserves, because she's an incredible songwriter, great singer, dancer, performer. Like, she literally has the whole package, and she's dropped it beautiful. So yeah, I'm really excited. I don't have the tickets yet, so I don't know for sure if we're going to the concert, but I already talked to Justin about it, and he said that we could. So I'm just gonna, you know, plan for that. All right, I feel like I have already been talking y'all's head off in this intro. I had a few other life updates on here, but it's really nothing serious. Like, we're going to Dallas this weekend, which is actually this past weekend if you're listening to this on a Monday, because we have to go to a funeral for a family friend of Justin's. So we're going to be driving to Dallas. This is going to be our first time having Ace on like a super long car ride. It's what, a 6-hour drive? So that should be interesting. But yeah, we'll be there for the weekend. And then besides that, just my 20,000 podcast downloads photo shoot. I was like trying to plan that out and get those pictures up last week, but I don't think that I'm going to be able to, just because we're going to be traveling now. So I'll probably try and get them up this upcoming week. But the theme that I went with was like a Y2K theme. So I ordered like a low-waisted mini skirt from Amazon, this little black top, and I'm gonna put some rhinestone letters on it that says Girls IRL. And I got like these super dope glasses and some fuzzy shoes. I'm still trying to figure out like where I want to take the pictures at. Do I want to get a professional photographer to take them? Do I just want to take them? I really don't know. Like, everything is still kind of up in the air. So I really don't know when those pictures are going to get taken, honestly. But just know that it's coming and it's in the works. And yeah, thanks again for listening. I love you guys so much. But like I said, I feel like I've been talking and rambling so much in this intro. So we we are just going to get into the nitty gritty of what today's podcast episode is about. And I don't know why I keep singing everything. Okay. Today's podcast episode, we are talking about journaling, how to journal, how to be in your journaling era. I really don't even know what I'm naming this episode, but just know we're talking about journaling, how to journal, the benefits of journaling, all the things today. I feel like I've mentioned so many times on my podcast how important I think journaling is, how beneficial I think it is. But I also realize at the same time that there are a lot of people who don't know how to journal or don't know how to get started with journaling. Maybe they don't know what to write. Maybe they don't understand like why it is so important. And so I just wanted to kind of give you guys a guideline today for how to start journaling, what journaling is, like why you should do it, why it's important. And just do a deep dive into it because I truly do think journaling is so beneficial for like your self-improvement, self-reflection, your self-growth. It is very much something that is going to help you mentally. And it's something that I know I don't do enough of. So hopefully by the end of this episode, I am inspired again to start journaling on a more consistent basis because I used to journal every single night. And I have not journaled in well over a year consistently. I've journaled here and there, like sprinkle a little bit, but nothing has been consistent for the past year. And I don't know, it makes me frustrated with myself because even when I go back and read old journals that I've written in, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I get to read it and kind of relive those moments or kind of like go back into that headspace that I was in. I don't know. And you just kind of get a bird's eye view of everything that you've kind of gone through. And I've mentioned this also before on my podcast. I think journals are a tangible way to see your growth, to see how far you've come, to see your development over time. Like journaling has that impact. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So buckle up. Get your pen and paper ready because by the end of this, you are going to want to start journaling. All right, so the first thing I have written in my notes is I kind of wanted to define what journaling is. I mean, it's so simple. I don't even know why I decided to put this in my notes, but because it's in here, I'm going to read it anyways. And it just says, it's simply writing down your thoughts and feelings to understand them more clearly. I mean, mic drop moment right there. Who would have thought? No, but seriously, I just really wanted to kind of like easily define it so that we all are on the same page starting out. But yeah, journaling, as we all know, is basically a way to get all of your thoughts and feelings that are in your head out onto paper so that you can like physically see what it is that you're feeling. I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I am like just extremely overwhelmed or I have like all of these emotions and feelings that I don't really know where they're coming from or even what they are, I will just grab my journal and literally open it and just like stare at the page until something comes to me, or I'll just randomly start writing things and my brain just starts moving like a mile a minute and my hand is trying to keep up. And by the end of it, like I will reread what I wrote and it's like a complete epiphany or just like realization of the thing that I was feeling. So journaling can be very powerful, very helpful to kind of pinpoint exactly what your feelings are and why you're feeling that way. So let's talk about some benefits of journaling. I have 5 of them that I'm going to read off. The first one is it's a place to confess your struggles and fears without judgment or punishment. And let's be real, a lot of times when we're feeling something, especially things that we don't really want people to talk about or know about us, then you're kind of just holding all of that in and you're not ever fully getting it out or releasing it. So it's just this constant buildup until something happens that just triggers you and you full on explode and everybody's like, whoa, where did that come from? So when you journal, you kind of have this super special place that is only for you and your eyes, and you're able to write out your deepest, darkest secrets and thoughts and feelings without having that pressure of feeling like people are going to judge you or think less of you or think different about you. It's truly a place where you can fully be yourself without having this watchful eye of everyone else that is around you. It's an escape. It really is an escape. It's a way for you to just kind of go into your own little world and be who you want to be without having to apologize for it or without having to tiptoe around your words or what you're going to say to people, right? It is the one true place that you can say anything you want without any repercussions. Sometimes there are things that like you don't want to talk about, whether it's with your partner or your friend or your sibling or your parents or whoever it may be, right? And like you just don't want to talk about it, whether it's you just don't feel comfortable talking about it. You don't want to hurt somebody's feelings about a way that you think about them. I mean, there could be so many reasons as to like why there are certain things that you don't want to say out loud or whatever the case may be, and you just want to have it written down somewhere so you can get those feelings out, because it's not healthy to keep all of that stuff inside and just building up, because if that happens then that's not going to be good for anybody. So yeah, just think of your journal as like your special place that literally has no rules. You can do whatever you want, you can say whatever you want, you can feel however you want, and you're not going to be punished or criticized for it. The next benefit of journaling is it helps you gain control of your emotions, and I kind of just talked about this a little bit. But yeah, anything that you're feeling or you don't know what you're feeling or like you're having a hard time like coping with it, writing out your feelings, y'all, I promise you it is so powerful. In your mind, if you've never journaled before, then I might be saying this and you might be like, seriously, like, are you dumb? But no, I'm not. Like, I promise you, there have been so many times where I have been feeling so many like extreme emotions, and being able to just write out how I feel has helped me immensely, whether I was able to talk it through with somebody or not. Being able to just like sit with my thoughts and kind of like get all my feelings and emotions out, it really does make you feel better. It makes you feel lighter, and like a weight is just lifted off of your shoulders because you were able to, like I said earlier, get that release and put it somewhere. The next benefit of journaling is it improves your mental health. It's basically like you get to have your own personal therapy session with yourself. I know there are a lot of people who don't have a therapist or don't want to get a therapist or whatever the case may be, right? But you still need like some form of therapy in order to just like keep your mental space clear and happy and light, because life can be hard. Life can be a lot, and it can be overwhelming, and it can be stressful, and you can have anxiety and all of these like really big negative feelings happening all the time, constantly. And if you don't ever take the time to like deal with these emotions or get them out or really just kind of like pinpoint where they're coming from, then that's going to be so detrimental to you and your mental health and your daily walk of life. So being able to journal is going to help you and your mental be so much more clearer and free, and you're going to be able to think better and feel better. And I don't know, like it truly is just something that is transformative. It helps reduce your stress and your anxiety and helps with depression. There's so many positive benefits of being able to write out your thoughts and feelings in a journal, so much more than anybody could probably ever comprehend. And I honestly think it's a beautiful thing, being able to really, like I said, have a therapy session with yourself, work through your own emotions, have like internal conversations with yourself, and really like work through your shit, like that is something that is just super powerful to me. The next benefit is it provides an opportunity for positive self-talk and identifying negative thoughts and behaviors. Again, journaling is something that if you've never done it, then you don't really understand how powerful it can be. But I have a journal, and there are things that I write in there that are like positive affirmations, gratitudes, just like what I'm thankful for, and really just being able to talk positively to myself really think about like my goals and what I want out of life. And, all of these things, like it's not just a space for negative stuff, it's a space for positive things as well. So, on the one hand, it's a place for you to talk positively to yourself and kind of like help you change your thinking from negative self talk to positive self talk. But at the same time, it's also something that is going to help you identify what those negative thoughts are that you have about yourself. And ultimately, when you go back and you read those things, you're probably going to be able to turn away from that and figure out, okay, what are steps that I need to take in order to think great about myself, or in order to stop feeling this negative feeling that I have, like it's really going to be a process for you in learning like what your strengths and weaknesses are and how you can better yourself at the end of the day. Like if you write in your journal for a few months and then you go back and you read every entry that you've ever written and you see like these common similarities, or these common characteristics and traits that you have throughout like things that have happened in your life, then when you're out of that like mindset and you're able to go back and read it, you're going to be open-minded and really aware of the fact that like, hey, I have this issue, and this issue, and that's not healthy for me. Like, what do I need to do in order to better these things? How can I become, a happier, more positive version of myself, and not this dark, depressed version that I've been for the past X amount of time, right? Because really, when you journal, like you're going to see a pattern of your behaviors, of your thoughts, of your actions. And the sooner that you're able to kind of like pinpoint those areas where you're not that great in, where you kind of struggle, where you kind of lack, then you're going to be able to, again, like have this goal oriented mind of like becoming this better version of yourself, because you don't want to stay in that messed up, sad, depressed era. We want to step into the light. We want to be in our positive affirmations, goal getter, in the best mental space of my life era. And then the last benefit that I have of journaling is it can help you identify what's causing you stress or anxiety. And I guess that just kind of goes into what I said, like if you read back over your journal entries and you kind of see this pattern, or you kind of see like something that you didn't really notice before as you were writing, then it's going to help you so much more in the long run, because you're going to be able to pinpoint exactly like where the stress and anxiety and depression is coming from in your life. Like, what is attributing to this? What am I writing about? What am I journaling about? What am I feeling? If it's a person, awesome. You can get rid of that person. Be done with them. Now, that's easier said than done, but you're able to like pinpoint what it is exactly probably needs to be removed from your life that is going to help you with your stress and anxiety and depression. Because if you see a consistent pattern in that journal, then like, okay, this is something that I need to be aware of. This person triggers me, or something that they said triggers me. Like, why is that? And then you're able to dive deeper into the why to figure out the how to get out of it. So yeah, those are the 5 benefits of journaling. And now we're going to talk about, what do you want to use journaling for? Journaling is very personal. There is not a right way or a wrong way to journal. It's something super personal that can take on many different forms and look completely different for every single person. But for those of you who have never journaled or struggle with journaling, I just kind of want to give you some ideas of what you can use your journal for, because I feel like a lot of times, especially at the beginning of the new year or something like that, we get a journal or we get a planner and we get like all these little habit trackers and all of these little things, but like we don't really truly know how to use them to their fullest potential and how it can actually better our lives. So if you kind of know what you're going to be using your journal for, or how you're going to be using it, then you can yourself do some more research on like how to be better at that and how it can help you in your daily life. But I'm just going to give you a list of things that you can use your journal for, whether it's a plain journal, whether it's a guided journal, whatever the case may be. So, the first thing that we can use journaling for, obviously, is writing down our feelings and emotions. That is the number one thing that I've been talking about already in this episode, but it is true. It is the one thing that pretty much everybody uses their journal for. You know, when we were younger, we had like these cutesy little diaries. I remember I forget what the diary is called, but it was one of those diaries that had the like the voice activated lock over it. Um oh my goodness, what was that journal called? It was purple. It sang to me. It was so cute. Like, I wish I still had that journal. I have no idea where that journal is. But it was something that I had that I was able to just kind of like write my feelings down, and I was able to lock it up. It was literally voice activated. Like, I had to legit say my name with my voice in order for it to unlock and open. Like, it was so cool. I don't even remember half of the things that I wrote in that journal, but I do remember this one specific thing that I wrote about how I had a crush on this boy that was in my class. Yeah, I don't know why I wrote about that, but I did, and I just went into detail about like why I liked this guy and how cute he was. It was just bad, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I mentioned that. But yeah, journaling is a place where you can write down your feelings and your emotions. Okay, next. The next thing that we can use our journal for is for like progress or habit tracking. So you can either do this like in a plain journal that you have and like curate your own little thing, but there are also guided journals, and there are also journals specifically for like habit tracking and tracking your progress towards certain goals. Some of them have like how much water do you want to drink today, like a water tracker. Being able to write out like your to-do list, write out your goals, write out a plan about how you're going to get to those goals. So that those are like very specific things that like if you want to work towards something specific, like this is the plan that you're going to write out, this is like your 3-month plan, this is what you're going to get done in this amount of time, and then like move on to the next. Those are like very super specific. I have used things like that before, but they're not personally my favorite, just because I don't know, like at some point I kind of start feeling this pressure to like, oh, I got to get this done in this amount of time, and if it doesn't happen then I failed, you know. And I don't want to feel like that. I don't want my journal to cause me to have stress and anxiety, because it's supposed to help me get rid of it, right? But there are people who actually love those things, and they come with like cute little stickers, and you can like put your little check mark next to things that you've done, and like it is very what's the word I'm looking for? Validating. It's very validating, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. Or like that instant gratification of being able to like check something off of a list that you did. It can be positive, you know, but for me, I just really didn't like that. But you might, if you are working towards something that is like super specific, you know, you want to get it done, let's say a year, then you go get a progress journal and you write out like, this is the goal that I want, this is why I want it, this is how I'm going to work towards it to get it, this is the 1-month plan, 2-month plan, 3-month plan, like whatever the case may be. And then you can really like hold yourself accountable, be in that journal every single day, checking off things that you're doing and working towards to be able to achieve the thing that you want. The next thing you can use a journal for, kind of the same thing, goal listing, but it's not as what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh, I swear pregnancy brain does not go away after you have a baby, okay? I mean, there are some words that I just cannot even think of, and then I listen back to when I'm editing and I was like, this is the word that you meant to say, but I could never think of it in the moment. It's not as demanding as the progress tracker and the habit tracker, but it is still a place where you can like write out your goals. Why is this important to you? Why do you want to do this? What are you going to do when you get it, right? Like really just being able to kind of deep dive into your goals and why they're important to you. Another thing that you can use your journal for, gratitude, or, you know, things that you're thankful for. I know people who write out every single morning, I am grateful for this, and this. And they, you know, have a very much gratitude, thankfulness mindset every single morning. So I feel like this would be beneficial if you are at a place in your life where you feel like everything is going wrong and you're always focused on the negative things that are happening around you and in your life, it might do you some good to get your journal and write out some gratitudes, list out some things that you're thankful for, list out some positive things that happened in the day instead of focusing so much on the negative things that are going on around you, because focusing on the negative, that's gonna cause us stress, anxiety. We're gonna be, oh, what is going on, right? Nothing in my life is going right. And if you're able to kind of shift your mindset to look at things in a more positive light, then instead of focusing on the bad, you're gonna be focusing on the good. The next thing, prayers. I have so many prayers written in my journal, like so many prayers. And I know like you can pray out loud, but I don't know. For me, I do pray out loud also, but I also think I find it helpful to be able to pray in your journal. And for me, what I like to do when I'm praying in my journal is I will write out the prayer and then I will say the prayer out loud. And this just allows for you to kind of look back and see, what did I ask God for? Did he come through? Like, what is going on? You're able to kind of like, I don't know, have this timestamp of how God is working and moving in your life, right? Because if you're praying for something in one season and then you watch it come to fruition in another season, you're able to go back and look at how you wrote it down and you made it plain and God did, right? So, I think it's a special thing to be able to have your prayers written down and to be able to look back at them and, just thank God for how he's shown up in your life and answered your prayers. And then the last thing that you can use journaling for is drawing or doodling. Journals are not just for words. Journals can be for pictures. Journals can be for literally anything that you want it to be, right? Like I said at the beginning, there are no rules. This is something that is super personal, and some people might not be good with words, but you're really good at like drawing and expressing yourself through art. Not me. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at drawing. I'm not really good at doodling. So I would not do this method. However, if that is something that interests you, then obviously it's something that you can incorporate into your journaling routine as well. So that's just a short list of things that you can use your journal for. I'm sure there are thousands of other things that you could use your journal for. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I'm really just trying to input ideas into your mind, just plant the seed of being interested in journaling or like what you could do in your journal, because I know that it can be hard to get started. It can be hard to just kind of figure out, okay, maybe you're not really in a super bad space in your life and like you don't really know what to write. It could literally be anything. So I'm just trying to give y'all a little bit of tidbits of wisdom. Okay, the last thing that we're going to talk about in today's episode is I'm going to give you guys some tips to get started with the journaling and to keep up with your journaling, basically. And these are also tips for myself, because like I said, I do want to get back into journaling more consistently. And yeah, this is not just for you. This is for me too. First tip I have to help you get started with journaling. Find the journaling technique that works for you. I just listed like 6 or 7 of them. But if none of those resonate with you, then find something that does. If you find that you're not the best writer, or you don't like to write, or you get cramps in your hand, maybe you want to have a digital journal. Maybe you want to be able to type, or maybe you want to be able to use your iPad, or whatever the case may be. Like, you don't necessarily have to have pen, paper, journal, right? Like it can definitely be something that is just a Word document on your computer, or it's in your notes in your phone, right? Like it doesn't have to be something that's super structured, but it just needs to be something that is going to, one, keep everything in one place, and two, something that's going to keep you motivated to keep coming back. Second tip for journaling: let go of judgments. Write for your eyes only. I said this in the beginning. Your journal is your safe space. Your journal is where you are able to literally say, think, and do whatever your little heart desires. You don't have to worry about somebody coming in and like reading your deepest thoughts. I mean, I would hope nobody does that to you. I'm sure things like that happen, but Hopefully not. Hopefully there are people around you who respect your privacy and like just want you to be able to have something for yourself. But typically your journal is for your eyes only. So you don't have to worry about somebody else coming in and like peeking over your shoulder and like trying to read all your journal entries, because it's for you. It's not for them. It is a judgment-free zone, okay? You do not have to censor yourself. You do not have to overly criticize yourself. You do not have to be critical of like grammar or like trying to be grammatically correct, right? Like it does not matter. It can be as messy as you want it to be. It can be as vulgar as you want it to be. This is your safe space, okay? So you need to keep it authentic and honest to who you are so that you're able to fully get like the rewards out of journaling. Because if you continually try to like hold yourself back, then you're not really fully getting everything out that you need to release, and you're doing more damage to yourself than helping yourself. The next tip I have is to keep your expectations realistic. And what I mean by this is I don't want you to have like this super high expectation of I'm going to write pages and pages and pages of my thoughts and feelings. You might only write 3 words. You might draw 1 picture. You might only have 1 thing to say. And that is okay. You don't have to have all of these like super insightful, super profound, super life-changing thoughts all of the time, because it's very rare when we have those. If you think that you're supposed to have all this wisdom and all these pages filled up by a certain amount of time and like you're not writing enough, right? Then that's only going to discourage you from actually using your journal. So honestly, I don't think you need to really have any expectations when it comes to your journaling. Like you open it up, whatever comes to mind, whatever gets on the paper, gets on the paper. And just let that be that. At least you are practicing the habit of getting your thoughts out and, you know, having a moment in time where you're able to write in your journal and taking 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever the case may be. It doesn't have to be this super long, drawn out process of sitting in your room for an hour and just writing. It can be something as simple as you had a quick thought, you needed to jot it down, it took you 1 minute to do so. That's your journaling for the day. The next tip I have is to create a writing routine. This is where I struggle. Like I said, I used to write in my journal every single night. I prefer to journal at night instead of in the morning because I liked to actually be able to live out my day and go throughout my day and then kind of decompress at night. That was my way of doing it. But I know so many people who prefer to journal in the morning. Or maybe you're a person, an overachiever, and you want to journal in the morning and at night. Maybe in the morning you're doing gratitudes and at night you're doing like a recap of your day. Whatever feels right and comfortable to you and something that you can manage, make that your routine. Even on the days where like you're not feeling super inspired or you don't feel like you have anything to write, because you are building that routine and that habit of writing in your journal, you know, just sit with your thoughts. I mean, if you sit with an open piece of paper in front of you long enough, something is bound to come on the page. Okay? I've been there a lot of times. I've just sat down like, I don't know what I want to write at all. And then a thought comes to my head and I just start writing, you know, like it's not something that is just going to come and flow every single time. But if you are serious about journaling and you have a goal of, okay, I want to journal every single day, or I want to journal every other day, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you're just a starter and you're like, I want to journal once a week, you know, like you pick what works best for you and a routine that works for you and that fits into your lifestyle. And then it's going to, you know, create that habit of journaling, and it's going to be an active daily or ritualistic part of your routine. It's going to be something that you're like, I have to do this in order to feel like my day is complete. The next tip I have, which I kind of already said, journal about anything that comes to your mind. Like I said, you're not always going to have these profound philosophical thoughts that come out of your brain and onto the paper, right? But if it's even something as simple as, I had a good day today, write that out. Write the date, the time. I had a good day today. boop, close journal, that's it. Literally just write whatever comes to your mind. It does not have to be something that is super, super structured. Like I said, unless it's something that you specifically want to use a journal for, or you specifically have like this goal, like it's not something that has to be so rigid and strict and super structured. Being able to just write whatever comes to your mind and kind of have this free flowing stream of consciousness, it is so just beneficial and helpful to you. And it also helps you just realize things that you didn't even realize. Like there were some times where I would write in my journal and my brain would be thinking of the words, but like my brain would be moving so fast that I'm not really super conscious of what I'm writing. I'm just trying to get my thoughts down as fast as possible. And then I go back and read and I'm like, oh, this actually makes a lot of sense. Like, I didn't think that was going to make any sense. It can be super therapeutic to just kind of let your thoughts run wild and get whatever it is that you need, just get it out instead of trying to have it be like this super cute story and beginning, middle, and end. Like, no, just write whatever comes to your mind and let that be that. The next tip I have, especially if you kind of struggle with doing the thing that I just talked about, is use journal prompts, okay? I understand it can be hard to kind of just put out a piece of paper and freely write out things, but that's what journal prompts are for. And there are tons of journal prompts online. There are journals you can buy with journal prompts already in them. There are journal prompts that you can write in ones on your own. You can make them up. Like, just use a journal prompt. Journal prompts are exactly what they sound like. There are things, there are questions, or there are statements that are going to help you kind of figure out what you want to write about or get your thoughts out or kind of help you answer. So whether that's like name something that you're grateful for today, obviously that's on the gratitude side of it. Another journal prompt could be write about something you regret in your life and why. That's something that's going to be more on the reflection side. So there are tons of journal prompts online. You can find them. I'm not going to sit here and name a whole bunch of journal prompts off, but they are out there and you can make them as specific as you want or as vague as you want. But on those days where you're like really, really struggling to figure out what to write in your journal, just find a little journal prompt, write it, and that's your journaling for the day. The last tip I have for journaling, and we're gonna wrap up this episode, is to get creative. Y'all, I have seen so many cute little journals in Target and Marshalls online. They have so many cute little stickers. You can get cutesy little highlighters and colored pens. Like, it can really be something that is fun and a creative outlet for you. It does not just have to be, oh, I got this black and white notebook with this black pen and I'm just gonna write out X, Y, and Z. Like, no, make it fun, make it enjoyable for you, make it art. Don't be afraid to like express yourself in more ways than one when you're journaling. That's what's gonna make it fun. That's what's gonna make you, keep coming back for more. If you have cute little stickers that are gonna help you drink more water, like, it's the little things. It really is the little things that kind of help that process be a lot more fun. And not just something that is like daunting that you feel like you have to do, but it's something that like you want to do. And you're able to just be creative and draw or write, or, like you use this certain color pen for this day, or you have this highlighter for this, or you have this sticker for that, like it can really be a fun, creative outlet for you to express not only your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions, but also your creativity as well. So that kind of wraps up today's episode. For those of you who have never journaled before, I really hope that this was able to help you kind of figure out where to start in your journaling journey. Learning how to journal is the easy part, but being able to really make a habit of it and a consistent routine out of it and stay on track, that's the hard part. So that's the part that like you're going to want to be able to focus on. And because like I said, for me, I love journaling, and I feel like, I have 10 minutes every single day that I can cut out of my time to come sit wherever I want to sit and write in my journal and let that be that. But I haven't been disciplined. It's kind of like training a muscle. You have to be able to put in the work and actually like make it a daily routine in order for it to become muscle memory. And you have to train that muscle every single day. Some days you might not feel like writing in your journal, but make yourself do it anyways. Because again, like a journal is just it's a tangible piece of your growth, and it is something that you are one day going to be so grateful that you have, to be able to look back on, to be able to reflect on, and just see how far you've come. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you stick to it, you will see the positive benefits of journaling and how it can truly transform your life and your mental space. So remember, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Make it your own. Do it how you want to do it. This was literally just a guideline to kind of help you get started, or if you're like me, maybe become remotivated and, really get back into your journaling bag. But my camera is actually about to die. So for my YouTube girlies, I'm going to end this episode so that I don't have to re-up and charge my battery and do the outro. But I love you guys so much. I hope you have a great Labor Day. Have a great rest of your week. And yeah, I want to see you journaling, girly. We're in this together. Okay, I love you so much. Bye, guys. I'll talk to you in my next episode.